In this video, I will discuss how the brain processes informations to make decisions. The human brain processes information for decision making using one of two routes, a reflective system and a reactive or reflexive system. The reflective system is logical, analytical, deliberate, and methodical, while the reactive system is quick, impulsive, and intuitive, relying on emotions or habits to provide cues for what to do next. Research in neuropsychology suggests that the brain can only use one system at a time for processing information, and that the two systems are directed by different parts of the brain. Reactive decision making. We tend to assume that the logical, analytical route leads to superior decisions, but whether this is accurate depends on the situation. The quick, initiative route can be life-saving. When we suddenly feel intense fear, a fight or flight response kicks, and that leads to immediate action without methodically weighing all possible options and their consequences. Additionally, experienced employees can often make decisions very quickly because experience or expertise has taught them what to do in a given situation. Reflective decision making. The quick route is not always the best decision making path to take. However, when faced with novel and complex situations, it is better to process available information logically, analytically, and methodically. As an employee, you need to think about whether a situation requires not a fast gut reaction, but some serious thought prior to making a decision. It is especially important to pay attention to your emotions because strong emotions can make it difficult to process information rationally. Successful employees recognize the effects of emotions and know to wait and address a volatile situation after their emotions have calmed down. Intense emotions, whether positive or negative, tend to pull us toward the quick reactive route of decision making. Being aware of the role emotions play in decision making does not mean that we should ignore them. Emotions can serve as powerful signals about what we should do, especially in situations with ethical implications. Thinking through how we feel about the possible options and why we feel that way can greatly enhance our decision making. Effective decision making then relies on both logic and emotions. For this reason, the concept of emotional intelligence has become popular as a characteristic of effective employees. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, pay attention to, and manages one's own emotions and the emotions of others. It involves self-awareness and self-regulations. Essentially, this is toggling back and forth between emotions and logic so that we analyze and understand our own emotions and then exert the necessary control to manage them as appropriate for the situation. Emotional intelligence also involves empathy, the ability to understand other people's emotions. Finally, emotional intelligence involves social skills to manage the emotional aspects of relationships with others. Employees who are aware of their own emotions can think through what their emotions mean in a given situation and use that information to guide their decision making. Employees who are aware of the emotions of others can also utilize that information to help groups function more effectively and engage in better group decision making. While emotional intelligence seems to come easily to some people, it is something that we can develop and improve on with practice. Group decision making. Involving more people in the decision-making process can greatly improve the quality of an employee's decisions and outcomes. However, involving more people can also increase conflict and generate other challenges. Now let us talk about the advantages and disadvantages of group decision-making. Advantages of group decisions. An advantage to involving groups in decision-making is that you can incorporate different perspectives and ideas. For this advantage to be realized, however, you need a diverse group. In a diverse group, the different group members will each tend to have different preferences, opinions, biases, and stereotypes. Because a variety of viewpoints must be negotiated and worked through, group decision making creates additional work for an employee, but it is also tends to reduce the effects of bias on the outcome. Having more people involved in decision making is also beneficial because each individual brings unique information or knowledge into the group, as well as different perspectives on the problems. Additionally, having the participation of multiple people will often lead to more options being generated and to greater intellectual stimulation as a group members discuss the available options. Brainstorming is a process of generating as many solutions or options as possible and is a popular technique associated with group decision making. All of these factors can lead to superior outcomes when groups are involved in decision making. Furthermore, involving people who will be affected by a decision in the decision making process will allow those individuals to have a greater understanding of the issues or problems and a greater commitment to the solutions. Disadvantages of group discussions. Group decision making is not without challenges. Some groups get bogged down by conflict while others go to the opposite extreme and push for agreement at the expense of quality discussions. Groupthink occurs when group members choose not to voice their concerns or objections because they would rather keep the peace and not annoy others. Sometimes groupthink occurs because the group has a positive team spirit and individual group members don't want that to change by introducing conflict. Often one individual in the group has more power or exerts more influence than others and discourages those with differing opinions from speaking up to ensure that only their own ideas are implemented. If members of the group are not really contributing their ideas and perspectives, however, then the group is not getting the benefits of group decision making. Decisions range from small and simple with straightforward answers to big and complex with little clarity about what the best choice will be. Being an effective employee requires learning how to successfully navigate all kinds of decisions. Expertise, which develops gradually through learning and experience, generally improves managerial decision making, but managers rarely rely solely on their own expertise. They also conduct research and collect information from others. They pay attention to their own biases and to ethical implications, and they think critically about the information that they have received to make decisions that will benefit the organization and its stakeholders. Thanks.